Welcome to Bible over Brews. Deep thoughts fermented with time and text. I'm coming at you, Aaron Crew Juice Viverka. I've got Keith.
Knows about
I've got Gumpy.
Hey, what's up? You got me.
We are doing a deep dive tonight, and it's going to be something else. We'll get back to that in a second. We are starting our evening with Urban Artifact Chime Vanilla Orange. I mean, this thing, look at this. Got Kung Fu on it. It has to be good.
I thought it looked like Aaron. That's why I bought it.
Well, he is bald.
Yeah, we're drinking this.
It's like some low poly model from the PlayStation era.
It's a vanilla orange American fruit tart with whole vanilla beans and special something. Hold on one second. It folded itself. There we go. Special blend of 3 different types of oranges. Ale brewed with fruit and spices. It's an ABV of 6.7. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, actually, it already has an interesting look to it. That is not your typical ale look. It's got a orangish hue to it.
it's definitely like
Smells a bit fruity.
Fanta color. Sure.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Lots of head. It's got lots of head on it. Ooh, it's got nice light notes. I smell just a little bit of citrus on the top. Let me finish pouring this real quick. There we go. I had to wait for the head to go down. There we go.
Ooh, Kung Fu. I could still drink beer. I would really like this.
Tart.
Oh yeah. It's very tart, but it's got a nice fruity citrus tart to it. It actually is reminiscent of if you crossed a orange with a grapefruit.
Perfect on a hot day like this.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's thick. The flavor is thick. It's got a thick flavor to it.
Yet it's still refreshing.
It is.
How do they do that?
Yeah, that's nice. So normally we talk about our lives and catch up with each other. However, I have a request for all of our listeners out there. This episode, now normally on the Bible Over Brews, we talk about theology, history, and pop culture while sampling craft brew, wine, and spirits.
Cigars.
Yeah, that's right, cigars, which we will be doing tonight. In fact, tonight's episode, we cover a little bit of all 3 of those topics. However, we will probably be on a list after tonight. So if you want to support us, if you go to BibleOverBrews.com, we do have a membership page if you would like to sign up. We will start updating that for you more frequently. On our newsletter, which is connected to that site, you can go to it. And if you enjoy our content, starting next week, I will be publishing our episodes. And for a small fee, you will gain extra access to all of our slides and resources, which then you can then use inside Bible classes and stuff like that, because we do a lot of deep dives into biblical topics. I say that because we're diving really, really deep tonight, and hopefully you hear from us tomorrow.
Gonna be on the naughty list.
We will definitely be on that.
This is when I regret not paying enough attention to the group chat.
Keith's like, I would not have come tonight.
Let's see. Just a pizza delivery guy.
All right. Let me go to share. Let's see. And window. All right. You guys are going to see our slides. There we go.
NWO, baby.
So tonight we'll be touching on none other than Peter Thiel. And the reason for that is very specific. He is running, let's just say that he is the man behind the curtain. He is the wizard in The Wizard of Oz. He's pulling the strings.
He knows about the Antichrist.
He does. And we will get to that. It dives deep. He's pulling a lot of strings right now, and you're gonna learn a lot tonight.
I'm excited, but I'm nervous.
Well, see, here's the thing. We like to think of Silicon Valley as a place of optimists, and we do, right? People who believe technology will connect us, empower us, and make the world flatter and more democratic. But even what if the most powerful man in Silicon Valley believes is the exact opposite? What if he believes that democracy is a failed experiment, that freedom is an illusion? And what if he has spent the last 2 decades building the technological infrastructure to replace our republic with something much, much darker? Today we are looking at Peter Thiel, the billionaire, the kingmaker, the philosopher. We're going to look at his history, his scandals, and the bizarre apocalyptic theology that drives everything he does. And finally, we're going to look at his masterpiece, Palantir, the software that is quietly mapping the lives of every American citizen. Tonight is the story of the architect of the New World Order. I don't say that lightly.
Cue the music.
I thought that was Hollywood Hogan.
I mean, the thing is that a lot of people talk about the New World Order. A lot of people have predicted the Antichrist and how the world will change once he is introduced. We might be looking at a little bit of that already. To understand Thiel, you have to go back to the beginning. In 1998, he co-founded Confinity, which later merged with Elon Musk's X.com, not to be confused with the current X.com. It became PayPal. When eBay bought PayPal in 2002, $1.5 billion went in their pockets. Thiel walked away with $55 million of it. But more importantly, he walked away with a network. The early employees of PayPal became known as the PayPal Mafia. This group went on to fund YouTube, LinkedIn, Yelp, Tesla, and SpaceX. Thiel, have you? It's a little platform. Thiel was the don of this mafia. He wasn't just an investor. He was an ideological leader. He seeded a specific worldview across Silicon Valley, a radical libertarianism that viewed government not as a partner, but as an obstacle to be routed around or destroyed. If you guys remember, that was a big deal. Like PayPal was a huge buy for eBay. It's kind of a game changer for them because it brought in an ability for people to purchase right off the platform.
Yep.
So, yeah, for PayPal for eBay, that was huge. So,
Until I googled PayPal Mafia, that David Sachs was a member, and he founded Yammer. Anybody remember Yammer? It was like Twitter, but in your workplace.
Yeah.
I started a Yammer at my job.
Didn't somebody buy Yammer?
Microsoft did, I think.
Yeah,
I don't really know what's going on. Because LinkedIn kind of swallowed all that, I think.
Yeah. LinkedIn is everything.
I have fond memories of Yammer.
I have fond memories of other small chat platforms that either don't exist or exist in small corners. Thiel didn't keep this worldview secret. In 2009, let me change that slide for you people. In 2009, he wrote an essay for the Cato Institute that contained a line that would define his public persona. He wrote, quote, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible," close quote.
Wow.
Yep. Am I on the right slide? I think I am. Let's see. Nope. There we go. That's the right slide. All right. Let that sink in. The man who would go on to become one of the most powerful political donors in American fundamentalism does not believe in democracy. He argued that the extension of the franchise, specifically giving women the right to vote, and the creation of the welfare state had ruined the concept of the capitalist freedom. For Thiel, the masses cannot be trusted to govern themselves. They will always vote to take wealth from the producers. Therefore, the producers must find a way to escape the reach of the Democratic majority. Think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how our founding fathers wrote the Constitution, and then think about that last statement. It's insane once you actually fully understand what that means. It gets worse. And what happens when someone crosses Thiel? We found out in 2016. Years earlier, the media outlet Gawker had published an article outing Thiel as gay. Thiel didn't just get mad, he got even. But he didn't do it publicly. He waited. He secretly funded a team of lawyers to look for anyone who had grievances against Gawker. He found out Hulk Hogan, whose sex tape Gawker had published. Thiel bankrolled Hogan's lawsuit to the tune of $10 million. The jury awarded Hogan a $140 million, bankrupting Gawker and forcing it to shut down. Thiel wasn't just revenge. It was proof of a concept. Thiel proved that a billionaire could weaponize the legal system to completely obliterate a media organization he didn't like, entirely in secret. It was a chilling warning to the press. Do not cross the broligarchy. Thiel's belief that democracy is doomed led him to look for exit strategies. If the ship is sinking, you need a lifeboat. He funded the Seasteading Institute, an organization dedicated to building floating, autonomous cities in international waters, free from the law and taxes of any nation. When that proved technologically difficult,
Don't say.
he looked for a physical bolt hole. In 2011, he was quietly granted citizenship in New Zealand, despite having lived there for only 12 days. He bought a massive remote estate on the South Island. Why New Zealand? Because in the circles Thiel runs in, New Zealand's viewed as the ultimate apocalypse bunker, far from nuclear targets and civil unrest of the Northern Hemisphere. He was preparing for the end.
I hate to break it to him.
Yo.
There's a book called Nuclear War, a Scenario. And it takes you through a hypothetical, actual nuclear doomsday.
Okay.
Hour by hour, minute by minute, really. And New Zealand's not going to be okay.
Yeah, we'll take that up with Peter Thiel.
And we won't even get to, not to go into too much of a tangent, we won't even get to be mad at the people who screwed it up because we'll all be dead in 3 hours. That is how fast it happens. It's crazy.
That's nuts. Well, maybe he should go to the bottom of the ocean then. You know, he should double.
Oh, and the insects, the only thing that survives is insects.
Cockroaches.
There's going to be bugs everywhere.
Always
Anybody
cockroaches.
who lives is going to be crawling in bugs. And like that's all they can eat.
Always cockroaches. They're immune to nuclear stuff.
And nothing will be left to eat them except humans. Whatever few humans are left. In their New Zealand bunker. Peter Thiel will be in his New Zealand bunker eating cockroaches. Congrats.
Well, I hear grasshoppers have good protein. And they're kosher. But Thiel didn't just plan to run away. He also planned to conquer. In 2016, he shocked Silicon Valley by becoming the first major tech figure to endorse Donald Trump, speaking at the Republican National Convention. But his real political project was J.D. Vance. Teeter hired Vance at his venture capital firm, mentored him, and then single-handedly bankrolled Vance's 2022 Senate campaign with a record-breaking $15 million donation. While Trump selected Vance as his running mate, it was the culmination of Thiel's political project. Thiel wasn't just donating to politicians, he was manufacturing them. He was placing his ideological disciples at the absolute highest levels of American government.
Manchurian candidates.
I forgot about Lake Masters. What a tool.
And the circles Thiel's moves in are incredibly dark. Pay attention. It is a matter of public record that Thiel maintained a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein long after Epstein was registered as a sex offender. Thiel met with Epstein multiple times in 2014. Furthermore, Thiel has been a major funder of the New Right or National Conservative Movement, a network of bloggers, podcasters, and activists who openly advocate for the dismantling of the American administrative state, the repeal of civil rights legislation, and the installation of a Red Caesar, an American dictator. Thiel is the financial engine behind a movement that wants to end the American Republic as we know it. Did you not know about this part?
Mm.
Yeah. So believe it or not, I'm going to leave names out of it because I don't want to be pulled into it. If you pay close attention to online, there will be a series of different conservative outlets that are going to tell you about how bad the American public is. Not only does it say that, they will tell you about the parts of America that are bad. Things like civil rights movements that let African Americans get voting rights and the same rights that we have, that allowed women to vote and get equal pay. Pay very close attention to conservative media. These outlets are all over online. And they will, not all of them are overt. Not all of them will tell you this is bad. They will subtly hint at those things. Pay very close attention. There's a certain branch of the Catholic Church. Let's just say that they may not be in relationship with the main Catholic Church. I won't call them out directly, but they may not like our current pope or even agree that he is a pope. I'll go that.
Is that the tie into Vance? Because isn't he Catholic?
He says he is.
Okay.
Even though
Wait, who'd you say?
Vance.
Oh, Vance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is
Vance tied to a seed group?
Oh, no. We're talking about right now we're talking about the conservative movement.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's the hard part about this is that it's directly inside, and I consider myself conservative. I do. There's a lot of conservative values I hold to. I also don't think that conservatives should lord themselves over other people. We live in America. I don't think America's built around freedom. Every religion and every branch of everything should have equal rights to everybody else. The trouble with this conservative movement is they don't believe that's compatible. They believe that anybody that does not agree with an ultra-conservative agenda should be taken down. And that's the problem. It fully goes against everything America was built on. And that's the biggest problem.
And by taken down, if you pin one in a corner, they won't exclude like lethal means.
Exactly. Yeah, there's literally been people who have even mentioned things like, maybe I'm not even sure I should say it on here, but things that were done to former slaves. So that has been mentioned on some of the more extreme versions of those podcasts. So Yeah, again, these are not good movements. They do not believe in letting people live peaceful lives.
It's not surprising that it's pedophiles all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So Theo used to Is that right?
Thiel.
Thiel.
Yeah. The H is silent.
Used to hang with Epstein, huh?
Yes. And that's on record.
Sure, he kept his
Yeah.
boxers on though. Just like
talk about Epstein files in a hot minute. Like that should still be a big deal.
I know.
There's still a bunch of pedophiles we haven't exposed yet.
Let's just say that the conservative people I listen to, they still bring it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Tucker and Candace over there.
Miss Owens.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. And I do actually like Marjorie Taylor Greene now. She's also doing a good job trying to still expose the Epstein files. Big shout out.
Well, you saw what happened to Massey.
Oh, I love Massey. Massey, my heart's with you. Yeah. Massey's awesome.
I'll give you Massey. The other ones, I mean, Tucker, I'm okay with Tucker. I'll definitely, Massey's fun.
I love Massey.
I mean, they were out to get him for sure.
$30 million campaign.
The most expensive in our history.
Wait, is he in West Virginia or Kentucky?
Kentucky.
$30 million?
Yeah.
A house campaign?
Yes.
In freaking Kentucky?
Yes.
Most expensive ever.
Oh my gosh. That is
against a guy whose name is we don't even know.
John Doe.
Yeah. The guy wouldn't even debate him.
No. He wouldn't get on because he knows he could. There's no way he's going to. Thomas Massey is a very intelligent man. This is a guy who already has patents out there. I mean, this guy he's a smart MIT graduate. I mean, he's a smart cookie.
Yeah.
And he has the heart of a champion. I love that guy. I love Massey.
It's just so weird because the same donor class that funded Trump, right? Like the Adelsons.
Yeah.
Funded Massey's opponent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, that isn't surprising though, is it?
Not really.
I don't know anymore.
Not really.
Like, wait a minute.
Trump doesn't want a conservative Congress. He wants a quiet Congress.
There's more of that coming up. So, to understand why Thiel wants this, we have to look at his theology. And this is where things get truly bizarre. Like, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we go from, I think he's a little bit kooky, to, oh my Lord. While at Stanford, Thiel studied under a philosopher named René Girard. Girard developed something called mimetic theory. The theory goes like this. Human beings don't know what to desire, so we imitate the desire of others. We want what our neighbor wants. This inevitably leads to competition, jealousy, and eventually violent conflict. Girard believed that human society is always teetering on the edge of the apocalyptic war against all, driven by this mimetic rivalry. Thiel internalizing this completely. He views the world not as a place of progress, but as a powder keg of human envy waiting to explode. Let that sink in.
Yeah. Of course, he views it that way. He feels threatened.
Exactly. How deep does this go? In late 2025, it was revealed that Thiel had been quietly delivering a series of off-the-record lectures to elite conservative and religious circles. The topic? The Antichrist. Because Peter Thiel knows the Antichrist. Thiel argued that the modern, globalized, democratic world is actually the kingdom of the Antichrist. He believes that global peace and unity are illusions that mask a totalitarian conformity. In Thiel's ideological framework, the apocalypse isn't a metaphor. It is a historical, inevitably driven by human nature. And he believes that the current democratic order is accelerating us toward that destruction.
Staring at the Greta I was trying to look this up earlier, remembering who did he consider the Antichrist, and it's Greta Thunberg. I'm like,
well, I mean, she wouldn't be directly the Antichrist. She would be like
one of them.
She would be like the daughter of.
Let me see if I can grasp what he's trying to say. So he's arguing that our current system, as is, is the Antichrist in its current form.
That the people leading it would be, yeah. In its current form, yeah.
That's Shady Vance leading it.
Well, I mean, he did mentor him.
I mean, if Peter Thiel knows the Antichrist, I know what he's talking about.
Right? Well, so well, hold on. Let me change the slide for all you people who are watching on YouTube or on Spotify. Spotify doesn't censor us. So, if democracy leads to the apocalypse, what is the solution? Thiel draws on the works of Carl Schmitt, a controversial political theorist who was the chief jurist of the Nazi Party. Schmitt popularized the concept of the catechon, a biblical term meaning that which withholds. In this theology, the catechon is the sovereign power, a dictator, or an empire that restrains the chaos of the masses and delays the apocalypse. Thiel believes that to save humanity from itself, we need a catechon. We need an unaccountable, authoritarian sovereign who can impose order from the top down. Freedom must be sacrificed for survival.
Oh, God. Where have we heard any of this before?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
For all that money and time to like study, apparently, by like making other people work for him, he just like goes to the same like boring ideas that all the other like wannabe dictators go to, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
None of the billionaires just like, I don't know, solve world hunger. Like we know they could. No, instead they do weird crap like this. Like,
yeah,
this just proves that nobody should be a billionaire. A billionaire is a terminal condition, a disease. Like we don't know anybody who can do good with $1 billion.
Yeah,
I can't think of anybody.
I know one.
Who is it?
Alex Hormozy. I will say it right now. I firmly believe that Alex Hormozy is doing a really good job. He literally is a self-made billionaire. Most people claim to be. He actually is. He was sleeping on his gym floor. He created a whole new way to open gyms. He ran 6 of them, sold those, created a software company to help gyms out, sold that, and then created acquisition.com. Now, here's the cool part. Underneath his business model, I'm giving him a huge kudos because I love this guy. Underneath his business model, he cannot do business with you until you're making at least $3 million.
Oh.
So what he does, here's the part that's beautiful. Ready, Keith?
Okay.
So underneath his business model, he gives you all the training for free. If you go to, literally, if you just go to his website, go to acquisition.com/training, he has pages and pages and pages and pages of training that he'll give you for free. On top of that, he holds free trainings on YouTube all the time. He has free training events for all entrepreneurs. If you just, he's giving his books out right now to people who reach out to him for free. Like the guy is awesome. So
let's get him out here for an interview.
Yeah, right. I would love it. So he's the only billionaire that I know of that I can actually say is doing a good thing, but he is doing a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that it doesn't sound like the worst, but he could still use the money and just go like feed everybody who's hungry in the Los Angeles metropolitan area.
But he's doing a better job. Here's why. Ready? He has literally helped out guys who had no money coming in. And within 3 years, now that guy is making a couple $100,000 a year. So if you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, he will never be hungry.
I will say, if you've taught 100 men how to fish, you could have spent the money on feeding 1 million men to fish. I don't know.
And then for one day.
Stop charging people a license to go fish.
So here's the one billionaire that I will definitely speak up
His
for.
beard also looks sus.
He's got an amazing beard. That guy's got an amazing beard.
You're right. It's a pretty amazing beard.
I could never grow a beard that nice.
In general, though, Keith, I definitely agree with you in terms of like billionaires.
In general, yes.
Now Musk is talking about being the first trillionaire, isn't it, Musk?
Musk and close behind him is Bezos.
Yeah, or maybe it was, I don't remember who, but
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I agree with Keith. And these people will never even spend the majority. They cannot possibly spend the majority of their money in their lifetime.
If all they did was hang on to it, I'd be like maybe kind of neutral, like maybe a little bit peeved. But the fact that when they do go weird, like humanitarian stuff, quote unquote, it's stuff like this. Like I want to go, like I don't know, just rewire everything and kill all the poor people or something ridiculous. Bill Gates has a bunch of crap like this too. His social causes are so freaking weird.
Let's not get started on Bill Gates.
Okay. He's banned in that, but yes, you're right. Anyways,
all right,
get us going, man.
So to finish off the theology part. All right, so Thiel doesn't just hold these beliefs privately. He uses them to shape the American religious landscape by funding right-wing Catholic and evangelical institutions. Now, mind you, again, these are ones that are usually not in line with the actual Vatican Catholic Church right now.
Are surprisingly prevalent when they're given lots of money by billionaires.
Yeah.
Well, Keith and I have spoke before about these certain branches. There are certain branches that may or may not have been observed by certain government institutions. Thiel is actively pushing American Christianity away from its traditional focus on charity and social justice and toward a militant, apocalyptic nationalism. He is aligning the religious right with his techno-authoritarian vision. He is convincing them that the only way to protect their faith from the quote-unquote woke masses. Hold on, make sure I got that in there. Oh, there we go. Woke masses is to embrace a strongman, a catechon, who will crush their enemies. He is weaponizing theology for political control.
Yeah.
And if you look, all you have to do is pull up, and again, I'm not naming names. If you pull up conservative podcasts and conservative blogs, you will see there's a stark contrast behind people who are conservative. In other words, people who are taking care of the poor, taking care of homeless people, taking care of the sick, the ill, people who are looking out for other groups of people, the things that Jesus himself told us to do, looking out for your fellow man. Instead, they will talk about how you have to oppose this, oppose that. This needs to be strung up. This needs to be pushed down. That's what you're seeing in a lot of conservative outlets now. All you have to do is just pull up conservative news. You're going to see two very opposing viewpoints. One will live according to the words of Christ. The other is not so Christ-like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised his teachings aren't hate speech. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, these days, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of hard-pressed to find his teachings in churches, in evangelical churches.
All right, guys. This is the part where we get in trouble. If we're not in trouble already.
I'm already a frog in boiling water. Let's go.
So we're going to start on the top. Palantir. What does that mean?
Isn't that something from Lord of the Rings or something?
Okay. No? All right. So let me tell you a story. Saruman the White Wizard. All right. He was the chief wizard in Lord of the Rings, the leader over all the wizards. He has a meeting with Gandalf, everything else. Amazing, amazing times. He tells him to go off and do this, go off and do that. Saruman the White. And then behind the scenes, after everybody leaves, He pulls off the cloth and he's speaking through a crystal ball, and Sauron appears and he's speaking with the Dark One. And the Dark One is communicating with him through this crystal ball, which is called a palantir. The crystal ball is called a palantir. It's used to communicate with the evil one. You can also view things from other areas and other times. So it's a spying device to see everybody. And this is what he named his company after.
It's so funny how real life villains unironically like name their stuff or take on these identities. Like it's the equivalent of Trump posting AI slop depicting him as Darth Vader, like unironically.
Yeah. Has anyone ever interviewed Thiel and just asked him outright where the name Palantir came from?
I haven't. There may be one.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but there may be one. I've seen a couple of interviews with him in there, but they didn't bring up the origin of the Palantir story.
Yeah.
So
sounds like one kind of major surveillance god.
It does. Yeah.
Demon. That's right. I said the D word.
Yeah, it gets pretty deep. So it's only going to get deeper. New slide. All right. Palantir doesn't collect data itself. It is an integration engine. Government agencies have massive amounts of data, phone records, bank transactions, flight logs, social media posts, but it's all siloed in different formats. Palantir's software, specifically its Gotham platform, ingests all of this disparate data and fuses it into a single searchable ontology. It allows an intelligence analyst to type in a name and instantly see a visual web of every person that individual has called, every bank account they've touched, and every place their license plate has been scanned. It is a God's eye view of human behavior.
Like right now.
Right now. It can already do it. Right now.
Come on, I only use cash.
This is why I'm moving to the moon.
Have you ever gone past a camera on the freeway?
No.
All right. Do you use a cell phone?
Can't go anywhere without being on camera.
We'll be coming up to something. I'll be going off script again in a little bit for a very specific reason, but we'll get to that when we get to it. All right. The Ice Dragnet. For years, Palantir was used overseas to track insurgents in Iraq and Afghanistan, but then the weapon was turned inward. Palantir became the backbone of Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE. They built the Investigative Case Management, ICM, system, which connects ICE to databases from the FBI, DEA, and local police. Agents in the field use a Palantir mobile app called Falcon during raids. They can instantly cross-reference anyone they encounter. This led to a massive spike in collateral arrests, detaining undocumented family members or roommates who weren't the original target, but were identified through Palantir's network analysis. The software turned a bureaucratic agency into a highly efficient deportation machine. Don't worry. It gets worse.
That's right. Y'all voted for cheaper eggs, and you got the Panopticon.
And it didn't stop at the border. In 2025, it was revealed Palantir was integrated into the Internal Revenue Service. That's right. The plan was to build a massive database of American citizens. Think about what the IRS has access to. Your income, your assets, your medical billing through the ACA, your crypto transactions. Senators Ron Wyden and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez launched a frantic inquiry warning that the Palantir system would allow agents to conduct warrantless, algorithmic searches across the most intimate details of American lives. The seeing stone was now pointing directly at the American public.
But it's not allowed to audit Donald Trump's tax records.
Well, of course not. If they even existed. Thiel's vision also extends to physical warfare. This is where it gets fun. Through his venture firm, Founders Fund, he is aggressively funding a new breed of defense startups. The prime example is Anduril Industries, founded by Palmer Luckey. And Anduril builds autonomous drones, AI sentry towers, and loitering munitions. But their core product is Lattice OS, an artificial intelligence system designed to network thousands of autonomous weapons and sensors into a single, unified kill web. Thiel is privatizing the military-industrial complex, moving the development of lethal, autonomous AI out of government labs and into unaccountable Silicon Valley startups. Our military now is currently being ran, believe it or not, by Silicon Valley.
This is pretty key because, and this has been true throughout time, whenever you see a bunch of folks are saying, like, it's so important that we do this war, like, we have to decapitate Iran's nuclear capability, there are a million people standing behind that person, no matter what war it is, who stand up front. And they're really calling the shots at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's who's yelling in his ear. And, oh, yeah, they'll scratch his back if they scratch his. So, yeah, let's go, just bomb Iranians. Let's go bomb a bunch of schoolgirls in Iran.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Your Thiel's going to make money.
Exactly.
And all his investors and all his cronies. Yep.
War is profitable.
For sure. Always has been. Wasn't some of that stuff, was that stuff used on Gaza, like for testing? Lavender.
Let's just say, if we're currently fighting a war in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some AI models were used.
Huh?
Can't remember if it was through Palantir or not. One was called The Gospel.
Mm-hmm.
There's an AI platform there in Lavender.
So think of it this way. These different AI mechanisms, these are all tied to a main AI mechanism. So these are all branches of AI that connect back to a central AI. So they're all integrated. They all talk together.
Yeah.
So the short answer is yes.
Well, because the way you described the immigration piece and how it just basically lumped a group of people and then boom, right? That's the same idea that I remember reading about with AI over there is that, it looks like this apartment building could be harboring terrorists.
Yeah.
According to their AI technology, right? And so boom, the whole building's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Daddy's not home. That was one of them, I remember.
I don't know how
Daddy's
a bunch
home.
of young schoolgirls are holding that kind of information, but yeah. That's okay. It gets worse. Back on the home front, Palantir's technology is trickling down to local police departments in the form of predictive policing. Algorithms analyze historical crime data to predict where crimes will happen and who will commit them. But there is a critical flaw. The historical data is deeply skewed by decades of racial bias. The algorithm sends police back to the same minority neighborhoods. More patrols lead to more arrests, which leads back into the algorithm, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Citizens are assigned risk scores. The foundational principle of innocent until proven guilty is inverted. You are harassed and surveillance harassed and surveilled, not for what you have done, but for what you will do, as the machine predicts it.
Minority Report.
I was going to bring that up. I was about to bring it up. There's this beautiful movie that came out about a decade ago. This is exactly what Minority Report is. It is now real. Minority Report is now a real software, and it's actually doing exactly the things that Minority Report warned us about. Minority Report wasn't just a movie. It was actually a warning that was trying to give us a heads up. Many of these sci-fi movies that come out are warnings to us. They're specifically written to tell us, hey, if you go down this path, this is what's going to happen. That was a warning, and now it is happening. People don't listen to these great sci-fi writers. Well, here's the thing. The legal and psychological consequences of this are devastating. Legally, the government is bypassing the Fourth Amendment. They don't need a warrant to track your location or read your data. They just buy it from commercial data brokers and feed it into Palantir. Psychologically, it creates a panopticon. When a population knows they're constantly watched, they self-censor. Activists, journalists, and everyday citizens alter their behavior. Surveillance breeds conformity. It crushes dissent before it can even be organized. It creates a compliant populace. Pardon me. And this is where the theology and the technology merge. This is the synthesis. Thiel's theology demands a sovereign, a catechon, to impose order on a chaotic democratic world. Palantir provides the technology for that sovereign to rule. You cannot have total control without total awareness. The end game is techno-feudalism, a system where a small oligarchy of tech billionaires act as lords, wielding state-sanctioned, AI-driven surveillance to manage the populace, bypassing constitutional rights, and to ensure the power remains absolute and unchallenged. So how do we break this? It is a bleak picture, but the surveillance state lies on our apathy. It relies on us believing that resistance is futile. It isn't. First, practice digital hygiene. Now, this is where I'm going to go off. There's several points here. On the first point, I'm going to go off script here. Digital hygiene is difficult. I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Luckily, I've got well over 20 years in technology, so I can tell you how to do it. We're going to go over that right now. Here's the problems. Every ISP knows where you are. Everything is connected through an IP address. As soon as you touch the web, they know where you are, who you are, and if you're online. So you have to use a VPN. However, here's the thing, and here's the part where very few people do their research. Do you use a VPN, Keith?
Very rarely.
Okay. When you do, who do you use? Okay. Use a VPN?
Yeah, I got it on here.
Okay. What are you using?
Let me see.
I think I had Protons. That's what it was.
I have a follow-up question after that.
I don't use it. Fastest VPN.
Okay, fastest. It's not bad. So, what countries are those from?
I mean, where it's like the server or like where you're connected to, or like mostly where it's from?
What country is it from? And where's the server? This is the most important question.
I know Protons has, usually it's US or Europe, but sometimes it's Japan too.
Okay. So here's the terrible thing that tech companies will not tell you. Yes, VPNs will protect you from scammers. They will protect you from all these people trying to get access to you. They will protect you when you're out and about at hotels and stuff like that. 100%, they will protect you from that. However, most VPNs are allowed to report back to the government. They will collect your data and they will sell it back to the government. Most VPNs will. Just because they're protecting you against con men, which is a good thing, they will protect you against con men, doesn't mean they will protect you against the government. They will give your data to the government. How do you protect yourself? There are certain countries, that have very, very strict laws. You want VPNs that are in countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway. These places have very, very strict laws that will not let those VPNs feed that information back to any government. So this is very, very important. Listen to me now. This is very, very important. Very few people understand this part. This is actually the most important part. Well, no. Actually, the last part is. Two. On the second part of defending yourself, you have to make sure you are using an app that encrypts your data. What do you use?
Either RCS or WhatsApp usually.
Okay, RCS or WhatsApp.
I don't know.
Okay.
I vaguely know what encrypt means. Like hide.
Well, encryption is when you encrypt a message from one end to the other.
Just, you mean make it private?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of those are not actually private. Now, I do like WhatsApp. I use it all the time, but I will never transmit private information over it. Like, let's say I have to transmit, I don't know, my birth certificate or something. Anyway, WhatsApp, if you go through its privacy statements, you will notice it's not 100% private. So it is owned by Meta, after all. Now, I do like WhatsApp. I use it all the time. I have several groups in there I speak to every day. I like WhatsApp. It's a great app, but I do not transmit very personal information over it. A lot of those you have to be careful of because a lot of them, they can still get broken into. There are a few out there that are cool. Signal is one of those. Signal is 100% encrypted, end to end. Signal itself, the company, cannot access your messages. Signal is 100% good. Unless somebody screenshots your stuff when they're inside of there, it's one of those ones where you are fully protected. Unless somebody leaks your information from the group, you're good. Here's the part that everybody forgets. So, we're on a secure VPN. We're on a secure messaging platform. Are we good?
I'm guessing not.
Okay. What are we missing?
I was gonna say maybe location tracking.
No.
Yes.
No.
What we're using?
No.
Our phone or computer?
No. All right, so here it is. Ready? Your keyboard.
Oh.
Keyboards log every single thing you type into them. So you could be on the absolute most secure messaging platform in the world, but whatever you're typing is still sending back. Whatever you type out is still going to go back to whoever the manufacturer of that keyboard is. So if you're using SwiftKey, for example, all that info goes back to Microsoft. If you're using Gboard, it all goes back to Google. So you have to be very careful about keyboards. One that's out there is Urik, U-R-I-K. Urik does not send any information back. You install it, it gets...
You're talking about on-screen keyboards specifically. Okay.
Yes, on-screen keyboards. So, because again, mobile devices. So anytime that you're using your device, you have to make sure you're using a secured keyboard. That is one of the most important parts of this because you could set everything else up to be perfectly protecting you. If your keyboard is not a secure keyboard, you are still transmitting all of your information. And that part is so vitally important, and so many people forget about that. So there's a couple of them that are out there. They're really good. Urik is one of them. There's several more that are out there. They're really good. Make sure it is a non-transmitting keyboard.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. What else can you do? That part is digital hygiene. Second, demand legislative action. Support bills like the Fourth Amendment is Not for Sale Act, which would stop the government from buying its way around a warrant. Again, it would stop its way from buying its way around a warrant. Demand local oversight of police technology. And third, support the civil rights liberties organizations. Oh, hold on, let me change my... Oh, That was right. Like the ACLU, the EFF, and Campaign Zero, who are fighting these systems in the courts every single day. So these are the most important things that we have to put together. All of these, you'll see we have some resources on this last slide. If you're watching us on Spotify or on YouTube, again, you'll get access to all of these resources if you subscribe to our newsletter on the paid tier. All of that will become accessible to you. You must make sure that you are observing everything that is happening right now because your very freedom is currently at stake. We are in Minority Report territory. What do you think, Keith?
Do you think they can pull it off? Like, okay, they have billions, trillions of dollars. They obviously are pulling a lot of the strings of government right now. But like, people are pretty pissed off at the moment, and the U.S. is pretty distributed, which does offer some advantages compared to smaller countries that have, basically fallen to dictatorships. Even smaller countries. I mean, Hungary actually just pulled themselves out of, whatever 14 years of, basically a dictatorship. Like,
which they're very happy about.
I guess there's a sense in which maybe even if they don't claim total victory, they claim partial victory, because even if we throw all the bums out in November, we know that even a lot of the bums that are incoming, even when they are like liberal, quote unquote, they still are pretty pro corporate and happy to give Palantir or whoever lots of money.
And take money from them.
Right. Yeah. And take money. That's massive.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to do your homework. So if you are voting for people, look up who their funding organizations are. Always make sure and double check, because you're going to find shell companies. How do you know it's a shell company? Are they a company with no products? That's a shell company. So make sure you check every politician that you think of voting in. You have to know who's funding them.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, though, like, that works at a certain level in a primary, but, we're all like, you either get Chantel Brown in our district or you get whoever the other random person that's the Republican is. So you either get someone who votes against the guy and, and this the president, or you don't. And we know she takes all sorts of money from, APAC and whoever.
True story. If you want to know who is taking money from APAC, go to opensecrets.org. Opensecrets.org. And then just type in the search bar APAC, and you will see every single person who's receiving funds.
I mean, I kind of feel like we're just there and we're just catching up. Honestly, I just feel like we're catching up.
The organic pressure, though, because we have noticed even this administration who, doesn't technically need to listen to anybody. They back down all the freaking time when they sense that a mob is coming on. There is, in a sense, because Peter Thiel's afraid of mobs. In a sense, he's right. Ultimately, it's going to be a mob that takes him down if he's going to be taken down.
Wait. So you're saying taco is for dinner?
Yes.
Yeah. Gumby, your thoughts?
I don't know. My thoughts is one time, I mean, I fully agree with everything about Peter Thiel. I do kind of agree. I'm like, I think we're there in terms of Minority Report because of and not even, I think we're at the point now where it's not even so much as how brazen they are or willing to keep taking our sovereignty away, or, our privacy away. I think that's almost equally matched now with our comfortability of wanting to keep giving it away. Waiting for the next phone to come out, waiting for the next upgrade, and being so addicted to likes, having to buy everything every hour online, Like so much of our world and so much of the info we get is online. Everything has been shaped, and I feel like we've just been kind of groomed toward that. That
Yes.
now we almost were willing to pay for our own servitude.
And that's what we have to break free from.
And so I don't feel at this point like they have to fight that hard where a person or in my opinion, Peter Thiel is like low hanging fruit. In terms of some of his ideas and what he's doing,
Yeah.
he's just the person capitalizing on it right now because I feel like we've been primed to do so. Uh, so I don't think there's anything that like new in terms of his ideas of merging theology with wanting to control populations or technology or whatever. But
Yeah.
I just think he's the right person at the moment, primed to do it because of where society is sitting. So that's kind of
I think he's the first person to pull all this together who has as much power, influence, as money as he has. Because, I mean, let's face it, America is a giant global power. And if you can pull the strings behind the curtains, you're literally running one of the biggest shows. You're the biggest puppeteer in history.
but that's what I mean. I mean, like going back to what you're saying, I feel like most of our politicians are up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we look at the Adelsons, I mean, they were funding Trump's first presidency.
Yeah.
And so, he's certainly not unique in what he's doing in that sense. I know he has the whole technological piece that's kind of new in all of it, but in terms of billionaires throwing their money at the people they want in there, I mean, even Ma'am Donnie, right? Who was supposed to be this progressive person who's going to change New York and is going to go against a rich and all of that. I'm like, come on. I mean, he was funded by they're billionaires,
Yep.
Jewish billionaires. I mean, not that it matters, but
Yeah, but with the growing awareness we have right now, we have a better chance in American history than ever before of actually turning the tide. I I teach large classes, and without saying anything, I rarely ever bring up politics inside class or anything because I keep it very, very cohesive. I keep it very low, high energy, non-political, so everyone feels comfortable. But without me saying anything,
yeah.
I'm hearing it from my students. So right now, people are feeling the unrest and they want the change. They want they want the average person to have more say, more power. They want the average person to have more business. They're tired of corporations. They're tired of politicians. They want reduced government. So
I agree. And I agree with that 100%. I talked to some other kid that I work with, really young, really smart, really enthused about life, but also really, really caught up in politics, which is surprising for his age. At least I thought. But, anyways, and, every once in a while he'll come up to me, oh, can you believe this, and that, and this, and that, and this, and that? Like, so caught up by it. And I'm like, would it kill us as part of our online hygiene to just power things down?
yeah,
Like, why can't we do that? Why can't we practice online literally fasting as part of a spiritual principle?
yeah.
And I think a lot of their power comes from us just feeding into it.
It's funny you say that. I have a growing number of students that have been switching to flip phones.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and it's mostly Gen Z. Some Zennials, but mostly Gen Z.
Yeah.
And they said they're tired of the screens being in front of them. They're tired of this constant idea of surveillance, and they're disconnecting from it, and they're grabbing just flip phones and getting away from being online. There's a growing number of my students who are. I see it. They'll flip a phone open. Like, oh, you have a flip phone. It's like, yeah, I'm tired of being online.
Yeah. And the other thing in terms of politics, I think that the quicker and the faster ours, at least, in the West here, that we move away from this right and left thing, because when Peter Thiel said that, all his ideas and things that he was implementing was to go against the ideas of wokeness or whatever, I'm like, that works for people who are caught up in right and left.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like that's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Because I hold conservative values, I hold moderate values, and I hold progressive values.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when our society is so caught up in just this or that, then it is easy for us to be so attached to it online.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. I was listening to ironically, I was listening to an interview recently, this was last week from Megyn Kelly. And she said something that totally took me by surprise, because we all know her as the staunch right winger, right? And in the interview, she's like, "I'm not Republican." It's like, wait, what? She's like, "I'm not Republican." She's like, I'm listed on every database as an independent. She's like, there are Republican views I like. She's like, but there's also Democratic views I like. She's like, I'm very centrist. She's like, I don't like either party wholly or fully. She's like, there's good things on both sides. She's like, some things the Democrats are better at. She's like, other things the Republicans are better at. She's like, but neither party I hold to. I was like, oh, I did not expect to hear that from you.
Yeah. And going back to what Keith was saying earlier, I think that's one definite way to curb quote unquote billionaires' influence is when our whole society, at least the big voting blocks aren't just right or left.
I was thinking, I forget, it was something you guys talked about earlier, like the fact that big tech, big surveillance, even you can see it in the AI backlash at like college graduations when the commencement speaker brings up AI, everybody starts booing. Like you could, if all this stuff becomes deeply uncool, you could at least get a lot of mainstream politicians who talk the talk, which has some benefit, even if they don't fully walk the walk.
Yeah. Well, look at the backlash from Duolingo.
Oh, what was that? I missed that.
Oh, you missed that one? So Duolingo went on record and they're like, yeah, we're going to be getting rid of a lot of the people and just doing it through AI, thinking they're going to get all this cool stuff, right? They immediately saw hundreds of thousands of people unsubscribe from them. The backlash was so bad, they had to dial it back as fast as possible. And they're like, no, we're not getting rid of the people. We're getting AI to assist them. Like they had to dial it back really fast. Yeah. So Duolingo saw that. And they're like, and people are responding now. They're like, no, don't you take those jobs away. Screw you. Right. So people are fighting back.
Yeah.
Through simple things like, okay, I'm not going to use you.
Yeah.
It's such a profoundly stupid thing for a company to say out loud. Oh, we're not going to use people anymore. We're going to use AI instead for computer programming. Like, no, sorry. Even if you're a programmer and you're using AI, like you still have to have someone there, or it's just going to do stupid stuff.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
It's at best, it's a force multiplier for decent developers. I don't want to pat myself. I'm not like that great of a user of AI, but I was patting myself on the back the other day because no matter how hard I tried, I could not use more than like 3% of my Claude tokens. And I'm like, I'm a good developer.
I won't lie.
My prompts are really thoughtful.
I do use a lot of AI. I really do. I use a ton of AI, but I'm not replacing people to do it. I don't have any employees. so I use a ton of AI, but I've never fired anybody for it because I don't have anybody to employ right now.
Yeah.
And everything I'm doing right now with AI is actually going to create more jobs. It's not going to create less jobs. So I'm literally using it to build positions that will be filled by actual people.
Well, that's the selling point with, I can't remember the guy's name who Tucker Carlson interviewed, who's building one of the largest data centers in the U.S. And I know there's one being built in Columbus too soon.
Yeah.
There's
There's three going up in Ohio.
Said, oh, it's going to provide jobs and all of that, but there isn't one community surrounding any data center that is happy with them.
No, they're the resource hogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already on a trend to being just not cool.
No.
And they have to keep forcing it and trying to selling it and repackaging it. It is.
Well, is mostly being used in the wrong ways by these large organizations because they're not offsetting the cost to the people. And that's the hardest part. And like, for example,
the contrary, actually.
Yeah. For example, everyone's water bill is more expensive right now. Why? Data centers. Everyone's power bill is more expensive right now. Why? Data centers. You can offer 100,000 people a job. Cool. Now, what about the other couple million that live around the area? It doesn't account for it. And that's the problem is it's eating up resources. Now, if these data centers did what they said they're going to do, and maybe they will, where they said they're going to build new nuclear power plants that once it goes over the amount the data center needs, it feeds back into the grid. Well, if they did that, cool, because then our bills go down. That would be awesome.
A nuclear power plant approved in this climate.
Well,
it's been taken forever for that to happen.
We already have a couple in Ohio.
I mean, we have a couple in Ohio, but we haven't even thought of building one. I don't know, less.
We're going to steal it from Iran.
So there is new propositions and bills actually coming out right now for nuclear power plants. Yeah, because we're falling way behind. We put, I think, 2 up in the last 5 years, and China put up like 36.
Yeah, good progress. Been waiting for that for my whole life.
But there is plans to pull them out because they actually created a new kind of nuclear power plant which creates almost no waste.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so that
solves a problem.
Amazingly beneficial.
You typically don't want to have that waste in your backyard.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and the thing is, here's the thing: the waste isn't a waste anymore. Japan proved it. Japan's nuclear power plants, they took the old rods and stuff that were supposed to be waste, put them through a cleaning process, and then reinserted them.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're reusing all of their nuclear waste, and it's now being reused right now. Nuclear waste is usable, and for the jelly stuff that comes out, there's a guy who figured out that he can compress it into diamonds. And he said, this is a game changer. I can take these diamonds and I can throw it into a car. I can throw it into an electronic. He's like, and now that battery is going to last years and years. Yeah. It's a game changer. So you've got all these different, you can reuse nuclear waste and take the rest of the nuclear waste, can crush it into diamonds, and now you're powering devices. So there is ways to use quote unquote waste. So
even when you couldn't, it was such a small amount of waste compared to all the other power generating solutions other than like
extensively
wind or hydro or something.
Yeah.
Which nobody wanted it.
Limitations.
It's wasted. Nobody wanted in their backyard.
Yeah. There's a mountain somewhere that you can blow a hole into and stuff it down.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, the trouble is that most. We could do a whole episode.
Maybe that's why Trump wanted Greenland. That would be logical.
That'll be a future episode. I've got stuff on that, but that'll be a future episode. And it will be an episode that Gumby loves. I'll put it that way. But last thoughts, Keith?
Everything sucks and we're gonna die.
Gumby.
There's nothing taboo over brew.
Please check us out. We're on most social media platforms, Facebook, X, Blue Sky. Please go to BibleOverBrews.com. We have new merch coming out. It's really cool. Got some cool cups up there you can buy now too. If you want us to keep pumping this information out, we might need your help.
In case there's shadow.
Yeah. And next week we'll be pumping out all of the episodes newsletters, probably one day at a time, so we don't flood your inbox, and you'll get access to all of our slides and resources.
already turning into a shadow like Michael J. Fox. In fact, I'm like fading away already. So it's urgent, guys.
Godspeed. Good night.
Peace out.